Sugar Plum, RectumRishel is one of the biggest sacrifices in PulseChain and PulseX. He is on this leaderboard. He might be a $29 million or a $20 million. He's one of these guys up the very, very top. PulseX as well, he's big, all right? Many years ago, so in 2021, he had this voice interview sometime, and he was basically telling everybody to hodl. And as shout out to Travone, who recorded this clip to show us, Rackham, some people call him RectumRishel. It's funny. Mr. RectumRishel has dumped on us, and I've made the tweet. I want you to listen. We're going to go through this piece by piece, okay? RectumRishel, so he dumped like 2 billion Pulse, 25 billion PulseX. He still has 100 billion PulseX in his wallet. He split up his sacrifices to multiple wallets. It could be the pooled friends. His Saudi friends want a cut. Please got to remind you, don't panic, remain calm. We will make it. Fundamentals are strong, okay? Nobody can FUD us out of the bags. I did this research planning for this. I did this research expecting this. I could see all of this. I'm here 18 hours a day. We have our gloves on, our fluffy gloves on. We step into the ring and we fight. We can do this, okay? So even though we see this, it does not mean anything's bad, all right? I've got to remind you, Vitalik dumped a poop load of his Ethereum on everybody's heads. Vitalik and the Ethereum Foundation dumped hundreds of thousands of Ethereum on the way up. They were crushing rallies. They were destroying the price doing that. Yes, they were, and they still do it to today. And look, Ethereum still survives. So have a listen, friends. We're going to listen to this piece by piece. I'll stop as we go. Explain.
Listen, if you're listening to my voice, I can say that in a very polite way. I can say that in a polite way. I choose not to.
Tell it straight. Tell it straight.
So here we go, sir. This person go, tell it straight. Tell it straight. Let's go, boys. You want to hear it? This is going to get good.
Most of you aren't going to make it. I'm sorry, but that's the reality. And I hope it spurns you, and I hope it pisses you off, and I hope you look at me going, excuse me.
Is that because people will just sell too early?
You got it. None of you is going to be wealthy. Not one of you. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Okay, so Mr. RectumRishel has said you're going to sell too early. This is why, I mean, it's funny. He just dumped. He just dumped. He's telling everybody to hold for years. He just dumped. So this is funny. Now, he didn't dump his whole bag, but I just want you to know that what you see and what people do are two different things. You're going to see that, okay? I promise you from the bottom of my heart, I'm in this with you, all right? I'm an outsider with you. I know this game. I know people talk. They talk, all right? Just because these people might have exceptionally large digits in their wallet does not mean that they aren't in competition with people around them. There's so-and-so person next to them has a big yacht. Another person, bought a big building. Another person bought a bridge. Another person bought some golden fluffy slippers. They are privy to the exact same human things that we go through, all right? They're just like us and happens, okay? So that's why the people who make it, us who are actually going to make it, it has nothing to do with them, okay? We can still make it.
Right? And if that upsets you and now you're hearing the real me, that's good. I want you to get pissy and I want you to get upset where you go, I'll show you, and I'm going to go, thank you, please do. I hope every one of you will wait a minimum of 1 to 2 years, please.
Just remember, he just dumped. He just dumped, okay? He just dumped, all right? I'm going to continue.
Because you're not exit liquidity. If you will do that, you guys are going to be, you're going to be freaking stoked, man. You guys are going to, oh my gosh, just don't sell early. Go back and get a second job. I don't care what you got to frickin' do. I promise you, I will, man, because you guys are going to know which wallets are. Mine are all being broken up by the law firm, and they're going to do their job. But I guarantee you, some of you are going to watch all those wallets, and that's fine. Do what you want. But I guarantee you're going to see them holding how much you want to bet.
Yeah, exactly. A big explosion. Some of you dudes are going to be watching those wallets. Yes, we are, sir. And there's a contrarian story to what I hear. So it's okay, baby dolls. It's okay. So when you hear this, you probably get me scared. You go, what do you mean we're not going to make it? Let's listen to your baby doll friend Sommi here, all right? Your friend Sommi is going to tell you something, okay? When RectumRishel, when he got into HEX, there were 5,000 people here. Do you see this? See these HEX total stakers, 5,800. You see that bottom pink one, friends? 5,882. HEX had about 5,000 people at the start. He was speaking in 2021 in this, okay? 2021. Now listen to this, okay? Look at this. So this was more than like 400 days ago. So he was speaking around here. Okay, so look at this, friends. So when he was speaking, there is now 100,000 people. Do you see that? The final number. Please confirm our friendship in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, button, or share with your friends and family. Everybody needs some good voice of reason out there. 100,000 people now in HEX from 5,000. When he's speaking, you got to remember, he got in when there was only 5,000 to 10,000 people. Now there are 10 times more. From Metcalfe's law, we know that, remember, Metcalfe's law, okay, as the number of users go up, right, the price is equal to N squared. The value of the network is going parabolic. So that means if you only went up, see those 10,000 people, for you to get a 4x, HEX needed to do like a 2x of the user base. 2 times as many people, okay? But because it went from 5K to 100K people, that is a 20 banger. You know what? That means the value went 20 banger squared. 20 squared is 400. Think about that difference, friends. Think about from 4x to 400x, okay? So this was, the difference between this was when you had 10K people, and this was 100K people. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? So you added, from the first 5,000 people you added, you only got 4x, okay? But then you add 10 times that amount of people, you get up to 400x. Huge. So when he's speaking, that is where he's coming from. Now, Mr. RectumRishel himself, he is not computating this in his mind. He's not saying, oh, Metcalfe's law, dude, you get a whole 2 years. He's not talking about that, but I'm dressing up the context. Why does somebody make these words? Why does that come out of his mouth? Why does he decide to say that? It's because what he feels deep in his soul is he knows he was early back here. And now he's speaking to 100,000 people. Okay, so there was, 5,000 people here. Now there is 100,000 people up here. Okay, so now he knows the community has grown huge by comparison. So when he's saying, you're not all going to make it, well, the truth is, if the community doesn't grow, in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, Chainlink, any coin, if it doesn't grow, yes, nobody makes it. Because you are exit liquidity for everybody who came before you. That's the truth. But if you really didn't believe these things would go up, you wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be here too. We know crypto is growing at double-digit growth. We know they're printing money exponentially. We know crypto solves too many solutions to be ignored. We know the world is adopting, okay? The fundamentals and undertones of this are so strong, and they're just absolutely amazing for this, okay? But at the end of the day, the truth is this, okay? Us here today, so you probably want to know, how many people do we have today? About 157,000. Yeah. For us to get to our dream, you want to get to the next wave, you've got to hold, okay, for this number to go up. So you're looking at the far left here. You see this? There's 100,000. Now up here is 1 million. So if you look at this, what I did was I crossed the chasm up to 1 million people. Look at that, okay? You crossed it up to 1 million people. Now you have a repricing higher. That might be, from here, that's like an 8x, which is 8 squared, 64 times the price. But, this number, it could easily be a factor of 2 to 4 off. It could be 120x, 180x. It could be that. Because in the euphoria in the markets, and we might be undervalued now, we're going back to the mean. There's a lot of things that can change. So we are different. When me and Rectum speak, we are different. So what I'm saying and my actions, they're different. So Mr. Rectum, so R for Rectum, and then S for your friend Sommi, okay? R for Rectum, Mr. RectumRishel will worship, okay? He will worship Richard Hart in the short term, which is what he did, okay? That's what he says. So words. These are the words, okay? Mr. Rectum will worship him. I am skeptical, okay? Me, that's the difference. You notice in my words, I say, hey, that bridge? I don't think it was really clogged. That delay, I don't think it took 2 years to build this. So I'm very skeptical. You go listen to all these. I go, I'm skeptical as in, I don't think all of these were natural causes. I think they were by design. Many of the things. Not all of them, but I think many. I think chances are higher likely that it's all going to plan and it's all engineered, okay? So there's difference in the words, really. Because if you listen to Mr. RectumRishel's other spaces and other audio clips, he's like saying, I'm betting on Richard Hart. I'm betting on this and that. Yeah, we're going to kill it, dude. So he's talking like that. You can feel it. He's trying to G everybody up, okay? But what about the actions now? So if we go down to the actions, okay, now this is where it's a bit different as well. So we are polar opposite here, okay? So I'm skeptical in the short term, and then Mr. Rectum will worship. And the actions were, he has sold, okay, I hodl. All right, hodl. So isn't this fascinating? Me saying, yeah, I don't really believe there's a natural causes with my words, but then I choose to hold for the long term and go, yeah, this is all going to plan and we're going to make it. Completely opposite to what he said and what he did, okay? So this goes to show you, you don't need to be me and have my philosophy to actually make it. Remember, Mr. Rectum made it. He was just early. But when you really think about it, like there are 50,000 coins out there. We are a very, very, very small subsector. Not everybody has actually made it. 0.05% really when you do the numbers, okay? So yes, when you look at all of these, you put them together, you get to see all of these put together. You get to see that, hey, yeah, this is somebody who was able to even make it to this top PulseChain and PulseX leaderboards. He was able only to make it because precisely he was able to get in early. Okay, so, after listening to this, I hope your eyes are open. You get to see, not panicking. I'm not going to say everything's smooth. It's never smooth. No market has ever been smooth, okay? But, hey, it's all going to plan. Yeah, I am still personally buying. I'm concentrating my buys on HEX from Ethereum, EHEX. But I own all of them equally. EHEX, PHEX, Pulse, PulseX. I just like continuing getting into the ecosystem, okay? I think it's going to keep growing. I think everything's going to be... I don't want to use the word fine because people will think you're naive. You misinterpret that as naive. But I'm telling you, when you hear these, this is all priced in. It all goes to plan. Who's it priced in? By me. Okay, all of these emotions we feel today, it's priced in by me. All right, and that's all that matters. I planned for this. I planned for death, destruction, turmoil, things that make you vomit, things that make you wake up in the middle of the night. You can't go to sleep. You're worried. You're stressed. You're sweaty. You're going to go to, somebody going to steal your fluffy slippers and replace them with some crumpled ones. All of these, yes, man, I lived through this, okay? But now at least you have me. You have a voice of reason here to tell you, hey, man, I feel like trash, but I'm still holding. I'm still holding, friends. If you want to make the big gains, you got to do this. There was once upon a time, you could just hold Bitcoin and Ethereum, but they they probably definitely have seen their biggest gains are now behind them. And now everybody's just in cope land, hoping Bitcoin hits 400,000, hoping Ethereum hits 30,000. They're not going to make up for smaller wallets. It's not. Okay, so yeah, you want to win? This is what you got to do. And let me tell you something. By the time the next wave of people figure this out, it's going to be too late. So you got to step into the unknown with me if you want a chance at winning, right? You are my friend. Don't forget that. You are a yummy jelly bean. Like, subscribe, bell button, or tell mum and dad that you love them.